So the latest issue of Sports Illustrated is out, and the Indiana Fever are gracing its cover.
Remember when the Indiana Fever couldn't sell out games? Now they're gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated as America's team. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. Transforming a franchise from bottom dweller to championship contender almost overnight. We're talking about America's team, and I can't help but feel all red, white, and blue inside. The Indiana Fever have gone from the league's worst record to national darlings, and their Sports Illustrated WNBA Preview 2025 cover is the exclamation mark on their rise. But this story isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about smart rebuilding, veteran leadership, and a team that's decided it's done chasing greatness. It's ready to claim it. And it all kicks off on May 17th against Chicago in what might be the most anticipated regular season game in WNBA history. If you're hyped, drop a "Fired Up the Fever" in the comments below. Let's go. Just 2 years ago, Gainbridge Fieldhouse was nearly empty. The Fever finished with a painful 5-31 record and had the lowest attendance in the league. The franchise wasn't just bad, they were relevant. Fewer than 2,000 fans per game. A near-decade-long playoff drought. It felt like rock bottom. Fast forward to now, and it feels like the Fever are playing in a different universe. The turning point? Drafting Aaliyah Boston first overall in 2023. She became the cornerstone, a foundational piece for a team wandering in the basketball wilderness. Still, that season ended with a losing record, 13 wins. Better, but not enough. Then came the 2024 draft lottery. The ping-pong balls bounced Indiana's way, giving them the #1 pick. The moment Caitlin Clark joined the Fever, everything changed. Overnight, tickets disappeared. Games sold out. The media frenzy began. Suddenly, Indiana was the center of the basketball universe. But what makes this story so unique is the Fever didn't just sit back and ride the wave. The front office got to work. Kelly Krauskopf returned as president and made one thing clear. This wasn't going to be a one-player show. This would be a legitimate contender. Veteran Dwana Bonner, formerly with the Connecticut Sun, joined the Fever. Bonner, now the most experienced playoff player in WNBA history, brings big game experience and leadership, and it was evident how happy she was to be there. You could see it on her face. Supported by a passionate fan base, Bonner felt the magic brewing in Indiana. Fans got a hint of the transformation when a video posted by Kelsey Mitchell showed players in red uniforms at a park. Speculation exploded. New uniforms? New vibe? Turns out, they were shooting the Sports Illustrated cover. That cover said everything. Clark, Boston, Mitchell, and Bonner standing shoulder to shoulder. A team. This wasn't a solo act. This was a reimagined franchise. The raw emotion on the players' faces when they saw the cover said it all. These were athletes who had never been featured nationally. Now, they were gracing a historic cover. That cover isn't just a photo op. It's a symbol. Years of struggle, rebuilding, and patience finally paying off. The Fever constructed a vision of what women's basketball in Indiana could become. Now, they've emerged as a beacon in the WNBA, a franchise everyone wants to watch. The SI cover is more than a flex. It's a cultural moment. The WNBA is entering mainstream sports conversation in ways it never has before. The Fever aren't just a team anymore. They're a movement. They're America's team. And it's not just about the stars. The roster is stacked with purpose. Sophie Cunningham brings scrappiness. Natasha Howard adds defense and 3 championship rings. Every addition is strategic. This isn't fantasy basketball. It's team-building brilliance. Cunningham's grit and Howard's lockdown defense balance the offensive firepower of Clark, Boston, and Mitchell. And don't forget the bench. Lexi Hull, Sydney Colson, and Brianna Turner round out a deep, balanced squad. This team isn't just built for one great season. It's built for a run, a dynasty in the making. Indiana's front office recognized that having the league's most magnetic player wasn't enough. They needed infrastructure. That's why they committed $78 million to a new practice facility, spanning 108,000 square feet. It includes 2 courts, top-tier weight and recovery spaces, mental health resources, and content creation studios. The goal? Maximize player performance and minimize distractions. The Indiana Fever aren't improvising. They're executing a master plan. Every move, every signing, every facility upgrade, it all points to one thing: sustained excellence. From front office to training staff to players, this is a franchise running like a well-oiled machine. Clark isn't just the face of the franchise. She's its engine. Her work ethic sets the tone. Arriving at practice before sunrise, staying late to study film. She's redefining what it means to be a leader, and her commitment has rubbed off. Teammates feed off that energy. But Clark also became the team's best recruiter. She made calls, texted free agents, and helped sell the Fever's vision. Veterans listened. They didn't need a hard pitch. They saw what was happening. They wanted in. Bonner's addition alone would be big. But combine her with Clark's rising stardom, and let's talk impact. Not just wins and losses. Clark's arrival reshaped the WNBA's landscape. Television ratings spiked. Social media lit up. Merchandise flew off shelves. Suddenly, the Indiana Fever were everywhere, from ESPN to TikTok. The Fever are now the blueprint. This is how you rebuild a franchise, not by relying on one star, but by aligning culture, talent, and vision. It's about giving players the tools to succeed, then getting out of their way. And while the world fawns over logo threes and no-look passes, the real story is what happens off camera. The sunrise practices, the hours in the weight room, the camaraderie. The belief that this team, once forgotten, is now unforgettable. In just 2 seasons, Indiana went from being a ghost town in the league to the WNBA's most compelling story. From 5 to 31 to championship hopefuls. From anonymity to magazine covers. From rock bottom to America's team. And they're just getting started. This season is about more than basketball. It's about legacy. It's about showing what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The Fever didn't get lucky. They got to work. They didn't stumble into greatness. They claimed it. So next time you see a Caitlin Clark highlight on your feed or hear Gamebridge Fieldhouse erupt after a clutch three-pointer, remember, this didn't happen overnight. It was years in the making. And the best part? The Fever are still rising. When you tune in on May 17th, know that you're witnessing history, not just for Indiana, not just for women's basketball, but for sports. Period. This is a movement. This is a mission. This is the Indiana Fever. And they're not here to chase greatness anymore. They're here to own it. Asterisk fired up for the Fever? Drop your thoughts below. And stay tuned. Because America's team is just getting warmed up. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates.